Jamie Lee Curtis. All right, here we go. First, let's talk about Jamie Lee Curtis. Okay? Because Jamie Lee Curtis has gotten a little bit of a hard time, including by myself, of course. I mean, there's people that have gotten mad at me because of all the shit I give Jamie Lee Curtis, you know? Why do you hate Jamie Lee Curtis? And I've never once said I hate Jamie Lee Curtis. I actually like Jamie Lee Curtis. I can't think of any other character in horror that has had so many chances. And I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments if I am. But she's the only one I can think of that has been back in kind of 3 different timelines, you know? So it's interesting. It's kind of weird. And maybe that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Or maybe it's just I was so into that whole 4, 5, and 6 Thorn trilogy. Halloween 4 is the movie that got me into the franchise. You know, that's the movie that made me obsessed, flat out obsessed with Michael Myers. They really honed in on the evil of the character in 4. And so much so, and then just giving it an ending that I can't imagine a better ending, especially in terms of like scaring the fuck out of you. Halloween 4 scared the living shit out of me when I left the theater. And I wanted to know more, you know, and Halloween 5 came along. I have an affection for Halloween 5. I do, but it's another one of those movies. If you don't like it, I completely understand. You know, 6, guys, okay? There you go. 6 is my baby. All right, 6 might be the most rewatchable movie for me of the franchise. I've probably thrown in 6 more than most of the movies. It's just so easily digestible, I guess. I have such a good time with it. So that Thorn trilogy, that's a big reason too, I think, why I was kind of bummed out when H2O came back. And when I first heard about H2O, I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's interesting because they're going to bring Laurie Strode back. And, you know, the way that they killed her off, it wasn't on screen in 2. It was through, you know, like, Halloween 4 basically stated that she was in a car accident and she died. So I always knew that they left that door open because just in case Jamie Lee Curtis ever wanted to come back, she could. So I'm not saying when I first heard about H2O, I was like, no, fuck that, get her out. No, it wasn't. I was actually excited as hell when H2O was announced. And keep in mind, guys, I remember reading in, I think, Fangoria magazine, and they were talking about upcoming horror movies. And not even movies that are, like, in production. They were talking about movies that are, like, pre-production. And they said Halloween 7. They didn't even say H2O. It wasn't even called H2O yet. It just said Halloween 7, and we knew nothing about it. And I was like, ooh. And then it was announced that Jamie Lee Curtis was coming back, and I was really excited. This is really cool because at this time, Jamie Lee Curtis hadn't done any like real horror movies, you know, since one of, you know, I think, what was it, like maybe Terror Train, or help me out, guys. What was Jamie Lee Curtis's like last Scream Queen horror movie before she went legit, you know, and did you know, non-horror fare for a while until she eventually came back to H2O. It's somewhere in there. But yeah, when they brought her back, I was excited. And then I saw H2O, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, because a lot of you guys have stated that for nostalgic reasons you love H2O so much. And I get that. That's cool. That's probably one of the reasons why I love Halloween 4. I guess my one question, it probably wasn't because of the scares. And there is some exciting moments in Halloween H2O, but it kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. If one, it felt too short. 2, I didn't really like the score. I didn't like the way Myers looked. It felt watered down. Funny enough, it's called H2O. So this was like this, and then the next movie after that was Resurrection. So we got this great trajectory for me anyway, going on with 4, 5, and 6, and then a stumble, and then a complete let's fall flat on our fucking face. That's what Resurrection was. So Jamie Lee Curtis coming back again, yeah, it was kind of weird to me. But jumping back to Cinemacon. Prom night. I think you're right, Robbie. I think it's prom night. So, there's a matter of fact, I have a picture here of Jamie Lee Curtis at Cinemacon. All right, so let me find Jamie Lee Curtis. Here we go. Is that it? Yeah. Yeah, there's Jamie Lee Curtis at Cinemacon, and she comes out, and what does she say? She says, "It's going to fuck you up." She says something like that. And immediately we thought back to, we've been down this road before, right? She came out in Halloween 2018 and said, "It's going to scare the living shit out of you." And then Halloween Kills, she comes out, and I got to correct myself here. She says she literally called Halloween Kills a masterpiece. And at first I didn't remember her stating that. And one of my commenters said she called it a masterpiece. And I commented back to him, and I was like, "Can you provide proof of that? Because I don't remember her actually saying that it was a masterpiece." But, if I'm wrong, I'm going to tell you I'm wrong. And I was wrong. She did say that. She literally said Halloween Kills is a masterpiece. So, when she comes back out this third time and says, "It's going to fuck you up," she could be right. But then we're dealing with The Boy Who Cried Wolf here, And by the way, I really like Halloween 2018, and I loved Halloween Kills, okay? Having said that, I don't think Halloween Kills was a masterpiece, and I definitely, Halloween 2018 definitely did not scare the shit out of me. But I'm sure it scared somebody, I'm sure 14-year-old girls might have been scared by that, okay? I haven't been afraid of a movie probably since Halloween 4, if I'm being honest. And I've had moments. I got to take that back. Blair Witch Project. That one did fuck me up, okay? Like the end of Blair Witch Project, because I thought it was real. I really did, because this was when the hype just really started kind of bubbling over, and nobody really knew the truth about it. And so I went and saw it in a theater, and it was a different experience. I'd never seen it. It was like watching a documentary, real footage in a theater, which was strange. And then at the end, again, thinking these characters are real. Pretty damn frightening at the. Now, if you haven't seen the end of Blair Witch Project, fingers and ears, but for 10 seconds. But yeah, when he's standing there in that corner and the screaming and everything, that movie was just a lesson in you don't have to have $10 million to scare an audience. As a matter of fact, I almost think the bigger the budget, the harder it is to scare somebody, because all the glitter is there on the screen. All the bells and whistles, spare no expense, all that stuff. The more you do that, for me anyway, the less it scares me, Whereas, that's not always the case. Like The Exorcist looks like a freaking $1 billion movie, okay? And it's arguably scary as fuck. So, but I do think you got a better chance of scaring an audience. Hey Byron, how you doing, buddy? If it feels a little bit more low budget, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That movie felt low budget. It did, and the 16 millimeter and all that. Yeah. So, but yeah, getting back to Jamie Lee Curtis, so I have a point here. Okay, she did catch a lot of crap. I'm going to defend her a little bit. Because she's doing a job. She's doing literally what every other actor or actress is doing in for a property, especially a bigger property like this with a lot of stakes behind it, and they're wanting to get butts in seats. Watch any interview with any lead actor or actress, and I guarantee you, every one of them, they're praising the shit out of the movie. And you know what? Many of them probably have never sat and watched the whole movie. You know, in the Johnny Depp trial, that he was talking about Pirates of the Caribbean, and eventually, in the interview, what would it be called? Like deposition. He literally stated he'd never watched Pirates of the Caribbean. You know, there's a chance, and she probably did, but I'm saying there's a chance that Jamie Lee Curtis might not have seen Halloween 2018 and Kills. You know, she probably did though. She probably went to a premiere, I'm thinking, but there are times, you know, that they don't watch the movie and they literally have to go out and they got to praise the fuck out of these movies. Jamie Lee Curtis is just falling in line. That's all she's doing. What is she going to do? Is she going to come out and say, I think you're going to like this one. It's not bad, you know? We toned it down quite a bit. Like if she came out with that kind of attitude, that deposition. That's funny. Yeah, but I mean, what do you expect her to do? You know, of course she's going to come out and say, guys, you are not going to believe this shit. This is like the end of the world right here, okay? If you do anything else in your life, you have to see this movie. It's going to blow your fucking balls off. Of course, that's what she's got to do. So all these people giving Jamie Lee Curtis shit, she's doing what every other actor or actress does, you know? So that's just par for the course. And if you know that going into this, then you kind of temper your expectations a bit. Okay, yeah, I get it. You're doing your job, Jamie. I'll reserve judgment until I see the movie. Okay? So, yeah. Not a big deal that Jamie Lee Curtis is hyping a movie. You know, because there's a lot of money on the table, right?